At approximately 9 o'clock p.m., Hamden Police received a call from the owner of the Funds Trampoline Park regarding a fight in progress. When our officers arrived, they found 40 to 60 teenagers involved in a dispute. Several of the teens were involved in a physical altercation. We exhausted all our resources on the street to respond to this disturbance, and we were in need of contacting the New Haven Police Department for mutual aid.
Any weapons involved, sir?
No weapons, as I know.
Any injuries?
No arrests at this point. It's still under investigation.
Any injuries to any of the participants?
No injuries.
Any sense of what the beef was over?
We don't know. We don't know what the disturbance was about.
Basically, you folks just arrived and there was a whole bunch of people pushing and shoving and doing that kind of stuff.
Yes, yes. And while we were inside of the Funds Trampoline House, there were approximately 100 to 150 other people inside. They were not social distancing. No one had masks on. So we are currently investigating the executive order from Governor Lamont to see if a violation was committed.
Could you talk about the nature of the fight that you guys had to exhaust all of your resources to call for backup? Was it violent? Was it the amount of people?
Yeah. When we responded, there were 40 to 60 people involved in a dispute. There was a lot of yelling. Like I said before, several people were involved in a physical altercation. There were punches being thrown. We responded, with all of our officers on the street, but there was the group was so large we couldn't contain it ourselves. So that's why we needed to contact the New Haven Police Department.
Do you know any idea about how many officers eventually made it there? How many between your force and New Haven? How many officers?
I believe there were a minimum of 8 Hamden police officers. I'm not certain how many New Haven officers responded.
Do you know if the people in the fight were at the trampoline park, or if that just happened to be a spot, maybe a coordinated thing where they agreed to meet up for the fight?
The fight actually began in the vestibule inside of the Funds Trampoline Park.
And you said it was all teenagers in the fight, or there adults as well?
All teenagers.
This is, obviously you're investigating this executive order, but there's been a few restaurants as well that have been cited here in Hamden for violating COVID restrictions. Just more broadly, I mean, from the police department standpoint, is this a concern that so many businesses are having these large events when you're trying to crack down on these?
Yeah, this is a major concern. Over the past few months, we have cited several businesses, several restaurants with violating the governor's order. So we take this very seriously. The fine in this case is a $500 fine, which may be instituted on the owner. That's something that we're looking into, but I believe it's going to happen.
Do you anticipate more increased investigations and enforcements around gatherings and things like that to send any kind of message?
We're always looking to see if, in fact, the governor's order is being violated.
Since the pandemic, there's been a lot more, it seems like everywhere, crimes involving kids, a lot of stolen cars, carjackings, other things like that. Do you think this is another kind of thing where kids didn't have enough to do?
Very possible. Speaking with the owner, it appears that a lot of the teens that were there just hanging around. A lot were hanging around in the parking lot. A lot were standing in the vestibule. And several, at least 100 or so were inside.
And do you think it had anything to do with any of the neighborhood neighborhood groups that occasionally will clash?
Yeah, I'm not certain of that. About that.
Besides the fine, do you know what's next for the business? Is that just what happens? They face a fine in the business? Have you spoken to the health department or anything like that about what their plans are?
I believe that since there wasn't food involved, so Quinnipiac Health District will not be involved in this case. This will be a Hamden police matter. So speaking with the investigating officers, I believe we'll be issuing a $500 fine.
Given the characterization that there just have to be a large gathering, was there any kind of event going on at the trampoline park that drew this crowd, or was this just kind of was something that happened organically?
Not that I know of.
As far as you folks are concerned, this was just a beef between folks, and the only follow-up you're going to do is possibly because of violation of the COVID rule?
Yeah, at this point, I believe so. There were no injuries reported. Everyone scattered when New Haven arrived. So right now we're focusing on the COVID-related violations.
Any message to business owners in the community not to let the guard down, that you guys are still watching for these types of things?
Mainly just to abide by the law, abide by the governor's restrictions. If in fact there is an event and you see that it's getting out of hand, more kids are attending, it's very, very important to contact the police immediately, until the disturbance happens.
Just to clarify, so you don't anticipate any arrests stemming from the fight right now?
I'm not certain. We're looking into seeing who the culprits are. If I do come up with any information, I'll forward you an email.
Got anything else that we missed? Anything else you'd like to add?
I think that's it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.